welcome to the Raynham Senior Center. And we're here today because of this lady, who I've known since I was 7. At least. We've known each other for a long, long time. And we're here today, too, because Homestead has an award to give Kathleen, a very important award. And I'm just here to have a piece of cake and a cup of coffee. So I'm just going to go in the back of the room, and I'm going to turn it over to Homestead. And we also have Angela D'Amelia here, who's your state rep, and Emmett Schmazzo from the Executive Office of Elder Affairs. Father McManus is here. I'm sorry, Father. You're in black and McManus. We have Don McKinnon, who was something in town for a few years. If he knew, he'd have to kill us, right? So we're just going to start. Oh, and Jacqueline Forbes, the superintendent of schools. Hello. And a lot of Kathleen's friends and family here today. And so we're just going to start. I'm going to turn it over to Deb and get this rolling. Thank you so much for coming today. It means a lot to Kathleen, I know.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. This is an easy crowd. You don't know how long I've been looking forward to this day. I'm just so excited about it because I think it's such a great award, and what an awesome lady. I mean, I just met her for the first time a little while ago, but I'm already in love with her. My name is Debbie Nichols, and I own the local office of Homestead out of Attleboro, and we service seniors in the Raynham area. And we ran a contest that the Taunton Gazette put a little blurb about, and a very nice lady by the name of Patrice White nominated her friend, Kathleen Roberts. We were really excited about that. At Homestead Senior Care, we work to help seniors stay independent in their homes, but we also realize how important it is that seniors be active. We think that's really important. We work hard to encourage that. So when I read Kathleen's nomination, I was just floored by what she has done in her life, in the activeness that she keeps up on a day-to-day basis. When I tried to get in contact with her through Patrice, it was difficult because you were never home. But I was even more happy to know that you are out. So Homestead Senior Care received 1,548 entries to this across 64 states and provinces. And Kathleen won for Massachusetts. The average age of volunteer was 76. The oldest was 106. So Kathleen's really young. Very, very young. I have to tell a little secret. When I say I feel like I knew Kathleen, the reason I feel like I knew her is because I was a Raynham resident for 21 years, and although I never personally met her, I knew about her because I couldn't not. She was in the newspaper all the time. I talked to Patrice about it. So when her winning form came across my desk, I looked at it and I said, I know her. I didn't really know you, but I knew everything that you had done, Kathleen. I had seen your picture in the paper, dressed up in costumes, and I heard about you at different events. And so you know what, having been a prior Raynham resident, and I miss Raynham. I live in North Dayton now, but I really miss it. I love the town of Raynham. I was just so thrilled that it was from Raynham. I mean, I was just really, really excited about that. But you know, what I wanted to say, Kathleen, is, you know, all the volunteer work that you've done, you know, you've touched thousands of people in the community, thousands and thousands. It could go on. But as I was thinking, as I was trying to write my little blurb, I was thinking that you've really touched me too, because my daughters went through the Raynham school system. And they had Mrs. LaFleur for art. Yes, Barbara. And, you know, thank you, Barbara. I was saving that for you. But, you know, it was people like you, Kathleen, volunteering for RAVE that allowed me as a mother to go out and work and do what I had to do. And as the schools were struggling with budget cuts and things like that, it was a lot of the people and a lot of the organizations that you've worked in that helped make sure that my daughters got a good education, and my baby just graduated from Bridgewater State College last weekend, so I thank you personally for contributing to my daughter's education, because you all did, so thank you. I'd like to share with you the nomination that came in from Patrice, because I can't do any more justice to what Kathleen's done than to just read it, because she did such a beautiful job with it. So let me put on my glasses, and it just is a great outline of what Kathleen has done. Kathleen's interest in volunteering was first sparked when she was in college and served as an assistant Girl Scout leader in her hometown of Wellesley, Mass. Since that initial involvement, her volunteerism over the years has grown to encompass many organizations and activities. Currently, Kathleen serves as chairperson of Raynham's Council on Aging, president of the Raynham Historical Society, a board member of the Raynham Historical Commission, a board member of the Raynham Library, a board member of the Mass Teachers Association representing the retired, a board member of the Raynham Association of Volunteers in Education, also known as RAVE, a member of the Raynham Food Basket, an organization that provides food to Raynham's neediest citizens, lecture at St. Anne's Church in Raynham. Kathleen volunteers every year for the Read Across America, which she was instrumental in bringing to Raynham. During Read Across America's introductory year, she served as statewide chairperson for the National Education Association. In 2003, she served as co-chair for Raynham's 275th anniversary celebration. The town of Raynham recognized her efforts and those of her co-chair with the Citizens of the Year Award. The Raynham Town Report was dedicated to her in 1993. The dedication in part reads, "It is time once again to honor one of Raynham's truly fine citizens, a woman who has devoted much of her life to the community in which she lives. A teacher in the Raynham school system and principal of the North School for many years, Kathleen retired in 1984, yet her involvement with the town has only just begun. One may wonder what motivates people like Kathleen to devote so much time and energy to their community, but in the end, we can only hope to encourage it by recognizing such individuals in some meaningful way. Therefore, with great pride, we dedicate Raynham's annual report for 1993 to Kathleen." Kathleen is a role model for all ages as she volunteers her time and talent with her willing, gracious smile. It's time to watch her in action, sometimes going from one volunteer activity to another in the same day and never losing her positive demeanor or her sincere smile. Kathleen firmly believes that we should give back to our community, and she practices what she preaches. One of her pet projects is the Mini Senior Olympics, which she started some years ago in Raynham. She volunteers her time to work with the Park and Recreation Department to organize the event, encouraging our senior citizens to be active and have fun. When she dons her cat and hat costume and strides through the halls of the primary and elementary and middle schools, going from one classroom to another to read Dr. Seuss books during Read Across America Week, her volunteerism is at its peak. During Children and Seniors Together Week, CAST, she reads to the students, talks with them about what life was like when she was their age, and MC's 4th grade spelling bee. One could not count the hours that Kathleen devotes to the Raynham Historical Society. She's been the president for many years, and she is involved with every aspect of that organization. Her involvement as the chairperson of the Council on Aging Board at the Senior Center is unmatched, as she devotes many hours in that capacity. The town has recognized her extraordinary volunteerism by presenting her with the Citizen of the Year Award, and also by dedicating the Raynham Town Report to her for devoting so much of her time and energy to the community. Volunteering is not a new aspect in Kathleen's life. More than 20 years with the Raynham Food Basket and 46 years as a member of the Raynham Public Library's Executive Board are only 2 examples of her dedication to the town. As the Raynham Board of Selectmen said when they dedicated the town report to Kathleen, as you read through the long list of Kathleen's volunteer efforts, these things stand out: her dedication to excellence in education and learning, her love of history, and her concern for her fellow beings. All of this recognition for a young at heart, enthusiastic 97-year-old. I proudly submit Kathleen from Raynham, Massachusetts, as a contestant in your search for the most outstanding senior citizen volunteer in the United States. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration to this remarkable woman. inspiration to older adults everywhere. A remarkable woman. I congratulate you and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you do for me and the community at large. I would like to award you two things. We have a beautiful plaque Mary Louise is going to bring over to me. This is our salute to Senior Service Award for you. I didn't think we could dispense it. And I am so happy to be like that. Thank you so much for all you've done. That's very nice of you. I am also going to give Kathleen a check for the Raynham food basket in the amount of $500 to be donated in her name as a gift to you. Well, I hardly know what to say. Would you like it like that? I think they can hear it. Okay.
Would you like to wait till a few more accolades are said?
Oh,
She's taking over like she always does, right?
Kind of jumped the gun on me. I got to tell you, it's just a pleasure to be sitting here next to you, and an honor. Since being elected, I've gotten to participate in a few different things. And the reading to the children at the schools and seeing you there in your costumes is like the highlight of that. But you are definitely a treasure for our community.
Thank you.
It would probably have been quicker just to say what you're not involved in. You set the bar tremendously high for us, but I just wanted to present you. You know, it's not quite as lovely as the plaque, but it's a citation. Citation from the House of Representatives. Be it hereby known to all, the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Kathleen Roberts in recognition of your receiving the National Salute to Senior Service Award for 2012. The devotion of your energy, service, positive impact on our community and all those who have come to know you. Congratulations. Thank you for all you do to make Raynham a better place. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future fortune and continued success in all your endeavors. Given this day, the 17th day of May, signed by the Speaker of the House, Robert A. DeLeo, and myself.
Through my good friend Kathy Roberts. She holds these meetings, and when I can, I go to them. And he comes to tell us about what's going on in the State House.
I'd just say a few words. I was fortunate to be one of those writing a letter of recommendation supporting Pat's nomination, and there is nobody more deserving in our community of this award, or in the state or anywhere else, than Kathleen. And if I could just read a couple of comments here. For so many reasons, I can think of no one more deserving of this prestigious award than our own Kathleen Roberts. Indeed, our community's perception of this very fine lady, and indeed my personal assessment, is that she is nothing less than amazing and is truly an inspiration to people of all ages. I think we can say with a great deal of certainty that no one in our community has ever touched the lives of so many people in so many positive ways. Even after a long career serving others in the important role of teacher and then principal and touching the lives of so many children, Kathleen, you simply never retired. For many years you've served and continue to serve on so many boards and committees in town, and I'm not going to detail them all because those have all been mentioned, but I do want to give you one funny story just to give you maybe a clue in why Kathleen stays so young. Because she is so young in heart and spirit. And it wasn't too many years ago when the North School was still active. Kathleen visited each classroom as Mrs. Claus. and in the costume and in character. And I can remember Mrs. Clarkin, Kathy Clarkin, and I sitting at the back of the classroom, looking at each other and doubling over in laughter as the children sat there in such awe as Kathleen actually became Mrs. Claus. And it was just such a treasure. But Kathleen, you know, and I say this, you are without doubt amazing, without question, one of our most valuable resources in Raynham. Whether there's anything in town, whether it's with our schools or our community that needs support, you're always there either to offer your moral support or help in any way that you can. Whenever there's any need in town, you're always there. You gave new meaning to retirement years. Those of us who are younger marvel at your energy, your enthusiasm, and the level of commitment and involvement you've always been able to maintain. Never was that more evident than during your recent medical challenges. Kathleen made sure to schedule her hospital visits and treatments so that she could still participate in all of her volunteer commitments. She was with us for every day of our Read Across America activities in March and our Children and Senior activities earlier this month. Again, without doubt, you're amazing, one of our most valuable resources in Raynham, and we feel very fortunate that you chose Raynham to be your home many years ago, and we've been privileged to call you our very own community leader and inspiration. And Kathleen, you know this comes from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure that I speak for so many others, from our younger school children to our Raynham seniors, when I say we thank you so much, and we love you even more.
Poor stranger.
How we doing,
Okay.
We go way back. When I was first a silver-haired legislator, a senator, I think isn't it a long time ago?
It was in the late 70s, actually.
Yes, and I was on the education committee.
I'm not surprised.
But you were wonderful then, explaining everything to us, and he's been great to the COAs. Yep.
Thank you.
So thank you dear, for coming.
Thank you. Well, being shy about words, actually, I thought a little bit of a pun based on the award. It should have read away from home instead. Because I was happy. I serve as the program manager for the state's councils on aging. There's 349 agencies, and I have to say, Raynham, in part because of her, I have been to the senior center in Raynham more often than any other senior center in the Commonwealth. Because you come here and it's your home away from home. You know why you're here, because people enjoy what they're doing, they mean what they say what they mean. And so I had to, it's kind of a funny thing. There's a couple of things about my job. One of them is, for the many years that I've been involved as program manager at Elder Affairs for Council on Aging, I tried to get a reporter to put in one phrase that it's okay to put the words love and government in the same sentence and have it make sense. You know, because we don't think it's possible, but in point of fact, it is, and you show it. So I wrote a little poem, if I may. It's to be in public service, a poem for Kathleen Roberts. How do you measure someone in public service? It's not height or weight, and certainly not age, I put that in bold, not age, but the difference in the lives of people we engage. For you have been an entrepreneur, an advocate, and a risk taker on behalf of others. You know, we try, as councils on aging, what we try to do is keep people out of institutional care. And that means that basically you try to serve people in the community for as long as possible. And if you ever wonder about the importance of it, if you ask for a show of hands, people looking for institutional care, I don't think you're going to see too many hands up, because we'd rather be where you are and where it's you. Fine. You have carried a torch and it has burned brightly. You helped others discover what is possible and new. My favorite line, think of the Iditarod, only the lead dog has a decent view. You better get it. You supported and encouraged possibilities, seeking common ground, bridging gaps with your smile and steadfast purpose. Your strength and passion flowered and flowed because what you gave to others was really your soul. Your time frame was the calendar, not the clock. It is safe to say you were never bored. Know that you have and always had my heartfelt respect and appreciation. Thank you for embracing the best in public service with knowledge, dedication, caring, humor, courage, almost not adjectives, imagination, dignity, and love. For that, there is no measure.
Oh, Evan, that is.
Sorry, it doesn't come with a frame, but.
Oh, that's not bad. I'll bet you.
First of all, I want to thank whoever extended the invitation for me to be here. I would not have missed it in all the world, so I'm very happy to be able to join you. I was thinking and hearing the words spoken that Kathleen, unfortunately, for a certain segment of our population, the term senior citizen may bring up the idea of someone resting on their laurels. And resting on their laurels would indicate they were seated or sitting. This is the most I've ever seen you sit. That includes church. About maybe a year and a half ago, it was not last year, the year before, I wanted to call Kathleen on her birthday to wish her a happy birthday. So I started at about 7 p.m. The line was busy. I tried, I don't know how many times, finally got through about 8:20, and her niece Kathy answered, and I said, well, I'm sure that she's been receiving all these well wishes on her birthday. She said, no, she's been on a conference call regarding one of her professional organizations. So that made perfect sense to me. Anyway, Kathleen, we think of you as a treasure for the community, a treasure for your profession, and a treasure for us at St. Anne's. So, and a gift to all of us. So we extend our congratulations for St. Anne's and a well-deserved honor.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
So many wonderful things. A few years ago, when both my sisters died and I was left the last one in the family, feeling pretty low, in fact very low, and I looked up in the parlor of where they were she was being waked, and I thought I saw about. I said that looks like Father Mike, but it couldn't be. Sure enough, it was he. Now our church is a large one, so he has many duties and not too much help. And there he was to come and help me and make me feel good. You can't believe I couldn't make anyone feel how much that meant to me at that time and how much it helped me. Because when you're low and you have somebody do that for you, you never forget them. And there he was doing that. And I appreciated that. But that's what he always does. Because he's a priest, and he, like many ministers and priests, are always looking out for their flock. He does that to perfection.
Is there anybody else that would like to take a minute? Just please.
You want to say a few words or not? If you don't want sentences.
One sentence. One sentence. Come up and then we'll have.
Yeah, this is Dr.
Great lady, a dear friend, wonderful welcome to Raynham to me, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. We all know Kathleen as a great volunteer and a great lady, and I would just like to say a few words about her and share with you some of the words that come to mind when I think of Kathleen. First of all, she's a very generous lady, generous with her time and her wisdom. She is resolute, perhaps one of the most resolute people I have ever met in my lifetime. She is marked by a firm determination to improve the quality of life for those in Raynham and in the BR school district. I thank you for that. She is a woman of integrity. I know you all know that. Honest in all of her dealings. And she is well regarded by everyone you come in contact with. She is compassionate, always concerned about the well-being of others, and I've seen her try to alleviate any distress that a child may fear or be feeling when she's around them. She also does that with everyone. She puts people at ease She's very concerned and in tune with other people's feelings. She's also the most popular and favorite Cat in the Hat character in the district. Just had to throw that in.
Yes, thank you.
And Kathleen is a lifelong educator. She is one who continually contributes to the education of the children in this district. She volunteers constantly to help enrich the lives of those children who are so precious and dear to all of us. Lastly, Kathleen Roberts represents the woman that I would like to be, one who has dedicated her life to assisting others, to improving the lives of others, and who always puts others above herself. She has been a real blessing to all of us fortunate enough to know her. And I am just so honored to be able to be a part of your recognition. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for everything you have done for us.
Thank you very much.
Say one sentence.
Pat is the one who sent in the application. Yes. And she's agreed to say one thing. Yes. Say more, Pat. She's been my dear friend for a long time.
Many years,
And it is.
many years. I'm just thrilled that Kathleen is receiving this recognition today for her volunteerism. And the word amazing has been used and used today, but I'm going to use it again. She is an amazing woman. So we thank you, Kathleen, Ryan, Roberts, for all you have done and all you continue to do. Thank you.
Well, naturally, I have nothing prepared. But I never have anything prepared. I really have. When you see now, how did I get into this? There are things you can do and things you can't do. And when I try to do something I can't do, people say to me, who talked you into this? And then they, oh, it's Kathleen. And I say, yes, she volunteered me for this. She comes up and she tells me I can do things I know I can't do. Everyone who watches me knows I can't do it. And yet she insists that I can.
He does.
I'm not sure I can get out of here without being volunteered for something else. How do you get off? I want to, Manny Rocher is my agent from now on. I've got yesterday's newspaper in there. That would be me, yesterday's newspaper. Has been. Kathleen and I spoke to young students within the last week or two.
That's right.
The last week or two. And she's sitting there, she's had her say, now I'm up having my say, and I'm talking about the Iceman that comes down to the house. I have this card that I start when I talk to the students, got numbers on it, the kids don't know what it is. It's an intro, you know what I mean? And I put it on there. And then, I'm saying, but then, 5 cents piece of ice, doors are never locked because there's nothing to steal. And in the man goes, the Iceman chips away and he puts it on his back and he goes into the house. And when he's in the house, and then I hear Kathleen's voice. What do you say?
I said, I remember that because we were looking forward to stealing the pieces of ice. Well, not stealing. My mother wasn't around, taking the cream
Off the top of the milk.
She knew we were doing it, but she never said anything.
Don't get us going, you may be here for something. that was my punchline, which was delivered. But I said, that's right, we borrowed the ice.
Oh, absolutely.
It had a way of disappearing.
Yeah, it wasn't melted, you know.
The fun of it all, Kathleen, right, was to tell the kids that this was our big moment. We had a chance at ice. And the kids looking like, ice? That's your big moment? That was the big moment. That was it in the day. If the Iceman came, we'd sneak up on the truck and borrow the ice, take the little chips, you know, and that's what we would do. So, in life there are those who say and those who do. You know today you're here with someone who does, don't you?
Yes.
We all know that, that's why we're here. As a matter of fact, there'll be a lot of people out there in the next day or so say, I didn't know that, I would have been there. You always do that, no?
Yes.
I would have been there, yeah. This is a person who is in the town of Raynham, the history person. And I've said this often to get the people over. I used to say, but now I'm older than that. I used to say, well, when I get to be 70 years old, wait a minute, now I'm almost 80. So, but when you get to be a certain age, talk to the people. I say, elders, talk to the young ask questions of the elders, so you'll find out what actually is happening, because we don't volunteer it often. Elders don't volunteer it often, we don't say it, do we? But so you find out what actually occurred at that time. But this is the young lady that started off in many years ago just to do it, not for no gain, no fame, just being a person who is there. And if you need, when we had the anniversary with Mickey England,
Oh, yes.
Mickey England was the on the anniversary, but you don't say, because just as she'll volunteer you, you can volunteer her. So I would say Kathleen and I are about even. Volunteer. God bless you and thank you very much for all you do.
But when you think of historians, I think of Pat, my friend Pat, because she's had to put, my book isn't finished on the history, but hers had, so she's a historian.
That's true.
Yeah, besides being all kinds of wonderful things.
Well, I dare not ask if there's anybody else at this point, but is there, you, please, come forward. And you are?
I'm Debbie Van Mill from the Raynham Food.
Oh, great, wonderful.
Yeah, wonderful.
I got 10%, no more, 10%. He wants 20.
The best boss I ever had. No, she's not the boss of the food basket. She is in charge, but she never bosses or anything. She's the most wonderful person to work for. In fact, I feel as if the people of the Raynham food basket are my friends, because they're always there. We love each other. We never have words or any arguments about anything. It's a nice place to be.
We have a good time.
We should.
And I wanted to say thank you for the donations for the pantry. Much appreciated. What I'm going to do is just simply read the letter of recommendation that I wrote for Kathleen for this award. She's an active volunteer for the Raynham Food Basket, which of course is a nonprofit food pantry serving Raynham residents who are in need of food assistance. Kathleen did not hesitate when asked to assist in the foundation of the agency in 1992. More than 20 years later, she still remains a significant part of the pantry's operations and is serving as a trustee on our board of directors. In the 3 years that I have served as director of Raynham Food Basket, I have become very fond of Kathleen. She is an amazing woman with a great heart. When the pantry's doors open for distributions twice a month, she is one of the first faces a client will meet. She greets everyone with compassion and dignity and makes them feel comfortable and cared for. Kathleen has always expressed her love for the work she does at the pantry. She's a faithful and enthusiastic volunteer who will never miss a distribution except in circumstances beyond her control. We consider Kathleen the matriarch of our organization. For all the volunteers and clients who pass through our door, Kathleen is a tremendous example of a spirited heart who truly loves reaching out to help her fellow Raynham citizens in need. And of all these wonderful adjectives that I put in here, I would also like to add at this point courage.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love you.
Oh, my word. This is a bouquet of all bouquets. Well, isn't this a surprise? I hardly know what to say. I'm not much of a speaker anyway, I don't think. But I really need to thank each and every one of you, but that would take a long time. But I do have a couple here on the list because I said I'd leave somebody out. Pat Riley, of course, as you know, she's already spoken, but she has been right behind me all the time and everything, and she wrote the letter. Robert Newton, and he is here with my dear friend Dottie. Now, Dottie, we are so glad to see you here because the Dotties have been laid up a bit, and to think she's here today, I know it took an effort, and I am so proud of her for coming, and I just love her. And Bob and I have worked together for years and years, and he wrote one of the letters for me, and I appreciate that, Bob. So thank you for coming and bringing Dot. This is a treat for me.
Kathleen, your smile is like a summer day. In the words of Kevin Ellis, no one says no, there's no Kathleen.
Thank you, Bob. It's so nice to have dear friends around, but Dottie, I'm especially glad to see because she has been sick now for quite a while, but she made an effort, and she's a fighter. And I think she's going to make it, without a question. Dot, we were behind you all the way. Yeah. And Bob, I've said that. Now, Judy, I already thanked you. Let's see, Pat White, she did so much for me. Liz, I thank you. Is Liz around, or maybe she's out there? For co-chairing this, allowing us to come here and use the tables up. Debbie, of course, I thank you, and the other ladies who came with you. This is a wonderful treat. You know my age has a lot to do with it. I know that. Because I have lived so long that I have a chance to do more than most of you. I've taken advantage of the time I have, and I hope to continue for quite, well, my niece wants me to create a record, you know, on the age one. I'm not so sure I can reach that, but if I reach it, it'll be, and I'm going to get punished for this. You are? Yes. So I said I wouldn't dare mention, but there is somebody in this room, and I won't mention any names, who has been extraordinarily good to me. Not everyone would be willing to work on my face for 2 months because it was not an easy thing to do. But she's just fantastic, and I love her dearly. She does so much to make my life good.
Kathy.
She just hates to be recognized, so I'm this later. Later, I may have to call on somebody to help me out. Pat Weiss, I've already thanked, and she's done so much. And Liz, Debbie, Emma, of course, you came all the way down from Boston, and I appreciate that. And you have been a wonderful help to the group of COAs.
It's been a pleasure. Please know that.
Yep, you are the one who's been so faithful all the time. If we have any question, don't know just what we should do, handle something, call Emmett, and he never lets us down. Isn't that true, Betty?
Yeah, that is.
Yep.
He's
Betty's
number
been a
one.
friend a long time too. And Dr. Forbes, I did appreciate that, and I already thanked Father Mike for that. And I thank all of you for coming. It's just great, because I have dear friends here, and you know that makes you feel so good. Especially at a time you may not be feeling quite the way you want to feel, and then you look around and think, I am the luckiest person. I really am. First for my health, and of course for my friends, and I have great confidence in God, and I call on him a lot. In fact, I call him so much, my niece says, he does not have time for the other people. But he comes up, definitely. But I want to all thank you very, very much for coming. And I want to introduce my dear friend from the MTA. This is the man who takes the pictures for us, and he's just as great. He's on our staff, and he's been following me around, and a couple of other people. They're doing a documentary for the MTA, and of course they have to go to those of us who are a little older.
Pioneers in public education, and she was one of the pioneers in public education in the state.
Thanks a lot. You're just great. And anyone else I should thank, I thank very places here. And the one who got us interested is here, is my friend here who does it, is Kathy. Kathy must have left. No, Kathy's right here, Kathy Rogers. She's the one that got me into working with various things with the legislators. And it's through her that you, and shall we say, the big shots in
They know you first. I was taking Kathleen over across to the State House from the MTA building to lobby our legislators, and so I'm really being careful because this is a treasure, and I don't want to break a treasure here, and I can't lose her or I will be killed. And all of a sudden I look behind, she's not there. I went, oh, she's talking to the governor. He had stopped her to talk with her, and I was like, where is she? She's with him, she's with the guy.
Yes, he was very nice that day.
That day.
One day.
We go for our summer training. So I feel I could talk to him at any time. I don't really grant my wishes or anything, but he was very good. So all of you, I want you to know, I do appreciate everything. Thank you, Manny. You had your machine here too, and I appreciate that. And other members, where are the other members of the Council of Aging? Maybe raise your hand so some people can see you that don't know you. Right here, Veronica, and Manny's right here, and Betty is right here too, our one-time friend. Oh, Barbara, come in, you've been hiding. Barbara Sleezer, she's very, very prominent in the town. One of the people who was born here and knows everything that's going on, and it's such a big help. Thank you. I'm glad you could come in. I'm glad you got Betty to come in too.
I'm going to lose my job.
There's Kate here.
She's taking right over.
She's taking it.